Welcome back to Cooking is Easy, guys. Today, chicken parm. Let's get right into it. So as you can see, we have two boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And as you know, chicken breasts are pretty thick, so what we're gonna wanna do is toss them in a bag and attempt to even them out as best as possible. So now you're gonna throw in a little bit of olive oil. You're gonna spread it around, you're gonna seal up the bag, get all the air out. And what we're gonna wanna do is pound the chicken so it becomes a nice, even width. I happen to have a hammer laying around my kitchen, but you can use a rolling pin, a meat mallet, whatever works for you. But you just wanna get that meat as even as possible. About 1/2 inch thick all the way around. As you can see, nice, even, and flat chicken breasts. Now over to our breading station, you're gonna wanna crack 1 whole egg onto a plate. Whisk it together very well. And now you can either add in a little bit of milk, or I had some heavy cream laying around. Both works perfectly fine, just a little dash, and mix it in as well. You wanna get this nice and homogeneous. Now take some all-purpose flour, and I like to use a sieve to make sure it's nice and even, there's no clumps, and put it on a plate, and next to your breadcrumbs. You can use plain breadcrumbs or Italian breadcrumbs, both work fine. So now I'm gonna add in some Parmesan cheese into the breadcrumbs. And when I say some, I mean quite a lot. You wanna get it nice and cheesy, that way when you fry it up, it becomes crispy and delicious. Now take your hands, just mix it up. Make sure it's evenly distributed throughout the breadcrumbs. And now take some pepper and season your flour along with a pinch of salt. Mix it together as well. And now we're gonna start our breading process. Take the chicken, dredge it in the flour, from the flour to the egg, and from the egg to the breadcrumbs. The flour allows the egg to stick to the chicken, and the egg allows the breadcrumbs to stick to the chicken as well. And you're just gonna wanna repeat with all the pieces of chicken you have. Make sure you get a nice amount of egg on there. And once you bread it, you can set it aside and let it sit for a minute so it all comes together. Now over to a medium to high heat pan. You wanna add in some vegetable oil. Wait a few minutes till it heats up, and then drop in your chicken breasts. If it doesn't sizzle when you put in the chicken, your oil is not hot enough. So now after a couple minutes, when you see the sides start to get nice and golden brown, it's time to flip. And this is what it should look like. Crispy, golden brown food. Brown food is better food, like I always say. Flip, give it a little baste on top to get some even more crispiness. And this is what it should look like, coming along very nicely. This frying process should only take a few minutes, because remember, we're gonna finish it in the oven. Now set it aside and fry your other chicken. And this is what it should look like, 2 crispy chicken breasts. Now take some more Parmesan cheese. Remember, this is chicken parm, so we're gonna be using a lot of Parmesan. Take a few slices of mozzarella cheese. You can buy the pre-sliced or the whole and slice it yourself. Place it on top. Drizzle a little bit of olive oil. And yes, more Parmesan cheese. This dish is loaded with Parmesan cheese, but it gives it that nice flavor. And this is what it should look like right before you put it in the oven. Go preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and we're gonna bake it for about 10 to 12 minutes. Once the cheese starts to melt like this, you're gonna wanna put your oven on broil as high as it can go, and we're gonna begin to brown the cheese. After a few minutes, it should start to brown and bubble, and at this point, you need to watch it carefully because you do not want it to burn. And now we're ready. Look at that, nice melted, crispy chicken, cheesy, Parmesan-y, mozzarella-y, all the cheesy you want. It's going to be delicious. Now boil up some quick angel hair pasta. This is what I'm gonna be eating my chicken parm with. Now let's plate. Swirl up your pasta, lay on your chicken parm, and spoon it over with any tomato sauce you'd like. This is a homemade sauce. If you guys want to see more of it, click the link above or in the description. Now we want to garnish with a little bit of parsley, and yes, you guessed it, more Parmesan cheese. Now the benefit to putting the sauce on the side is you'll allow your chicken parm to get nice and crispy. It'll stay crispy, it won't get soggy, and I promise you it's delicious. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, as we'll be cranking them out every single week. I love this recipe. It's probably my favorite thing I make. It's delicious. You guys have to give it a try as well. We'll see you on the next one.